Confederations Cup semifinals are set. Clint Dempsey strikes again. Mario Balotelli gets a Nice new deal. San Jose fire a coach, Crystal Palace hire one. And Paul Pogba does the most Paul Pogba thing he can do. It's Monday, June 26th. I'm Brooks Peck from Dirty Tackle, and this is the Goalmouth. Before we get into today's stories, a correction. On Friday, Ryan told you that Sergio Ramos tried to commit tax fraud, but accidentally paid double instead. This, sadly, is not true. That story originated in El Mundo Today, which is actually Spain's version of The Onion. So we can only assume that Sergio is paying the proper amount of taxes, or less, like every other footballer in Spain. And yes, we will be giving Ryan a hard time about this on the next episode of the Dirty Tackle podcast. Now for some stories that I'm 98% sure are true. First, the Confederations Cup semifinals are set. Portugal will face Chile, and Germany will face Mexico, so no surprises here. On Sunday, Germany beat Cameroon 3-1 in another VAR-tainted match that marked Jogi Löw's 100th victory in his 150th match in charge of the world champions. Chile, meanwhile, only managed a 1-1 draw with Australia in their final group stage match. Could we be on the verge of an all-European final? Has Chicharito's time in Germany all been leading up to this moment? You'll have to watch to find out. Or, don't. It's only the Confederations Cup. The one actual rivalry of MLS Rivalry Week delivered an excellent match with Clint Dempsey coming off the bench to score a stoppage time equalizer for the 10-man Seattle Sounders against the Portland Timbers. Seattle's Brad Evans was sent off just before halftime, and Portland converted not one but two penalties in the minutes just before the break to take a 2-1 lead. That score held until Dempsey headed in the equalizer in the 4th minute of added time. How was the 34-year-old able to jump high enough to make this happen? Well, the floor was very much lava as the match had to be delayed several hours because the temperature on the artificial pitch was 168 degrees in the afternoon. Even Qatar thinks that's too hot for a match. Mario Balotelli will stay with one club for 2 consecutive seasons as Nice have extended his contract for another year. Mario scored 17 goals in 28 appearances for Nice last season and was among the top 10 scorers in Ligue 1. More importantly, he seemed genuinely happy there and has been relatively scandal-free in France. Whether he'll be able to work his way back into the Italian national team for the World Cup from France remains to be seen, but another strong season should at least put him in contention, hopefully. The San Jose Earthquakes have fired coach Dominic Kinnear despite being just 2 points out of second place in the West. Replacing him will be former defender Chris Leach, who will be making his managerial debut. Elsewhere, Crystal Palace have decided to go with Frank de Boer to succeed Sam Allardyce. The Dutchman most recently bombed out at Inter, where he lasted just 14 matches. So good luck with both those moves, San Jose and Crystal Palace. And finally, Paul Pogba hosted a charity match in Colombia along with former Juventus teammate Juan Cuadrado, and in that match he managed to achieve peak Pogbality. After rounding the keeper in a 1v1, he dabbed as he walked the ball into the net. He dabbed while scoring. This raises an interesting question. If Pogba dabs while scoring, what does he do to celebrate? Well, he dabbed again. What else did you expect? That'll do it for today. You can find more info on all the stories mentioned by subscribing to our email newsletter. The link is in the show notes. I've been Brooks Peck. Daryl will be with you again tomorrow. Same goalmouth time, same goalmouth place. I leave you now with today's goalmouth top tip. You can only dab while scoring if you're Paul Pogba. And you're not Paul Pogba. Sorry.